Block Gemara. Today's daf is daf Mem Beis, and we begin at the top of the page, the Mishnah. A mafkid mois eitzel chaveri. We already actually learned this Mishnah just a few days ago. A mafkid mois eitzel chaveri. If somebody gives a deposit of money by his friend, and that friend he bundled it up, and he carried it behind his back, which made it sort of a bit vulnerable, and he can get stolen or something. Gave it to his youngsters, not to his older children, but to the youngsters. We had a machlekes based on this Mishnah whether a shomer is permitted to give it to another responsible shomer, but older children you can. Another says the opposite. You cannot give it to otherwise why only his young children? Say somebody, any young children is irresponsible, any older children is good. But different because kol mafkid, anybody gives somebody because expects the family to be involved as well. The noal b'fneim shalekro, but he closed the door for them, but not in a responsible way. Anything happens to it, he is responsible, including the case where he puts it behind his back. So shimek kederech Hashem, didn't watch it properly. The im shimek kederech Hashem, but if he took something to watch and mind, and he stored it in the proper way, puts it. Says the Gemara Bishleim, all of them shalei shimek kederech Hashem did the wrong thing, gave it to a youngster, left the door open. If he put it in a bundle, which means he protected the money, and he put it behind him. What else should he have done? He put the money in a special place. Said the pasuk that the money should be in your hand, not behind your back where you can't really see what's happening. And we dash even though it's in a bundle, still it has to be in your hand. But another hand, you should always have money ready, available. You never put money away and buy something leaving no cash. You should always have some available cash in your hand. In case a deal comes along, you can go ahead and invest straight away. Said a lot of things about money. We also had he's the one that says that a person keeps on checking his pocket all the time. A lot of things he said about money. So I wonder when we had the Gemara report, the one who told us the din about a tower, a pyramid, is the same Rabbi Yitzchak. But there they called him Migdalah because of that case. But he always talked about money. He had a lot of things to say about money. The best advice I give you is divide your money into three. Shlish bekarka, but two ways of understanding shlish bekarka. Shlish bekarka, you mean, as the Gemara later on will say, the best place to save to protect your money is buried in the ground. But others say shlish bekarka means exactly real estate. We had in Gemara of Samar Beis that a person doesn't have a karka is not an adam, and so on. So maybe means push investing a karka, or hiding in the ground, or because he bought property. Yeah.
He invested in a business and
he kept some in the bank.
Bought cash reserves. So
what do you mean he bought cash reserves? Speak louder.
One came the First World War, the British government under the Emergency Powers Act appropriated his warehouse.
And then you back to him after war?
He was bankrupt by the time the war ended. Then he invested in currency as Dr. Rus, so he bought Russian rubles. Then came the revolution, and his currency was worth rockets. And he invested in a business which went Machula, and Baruch Hashem, he followed the advice of the letter of the law, and that's where it got him. But who knows? Who knows?
It was meant to be. Ushlish pragmatia, a third is in business. Ushlish tachas yod, doesn't say invest in Russian rubles. It says tachas yod, keep it, in your own currency wherever you live. Well, Rabbi Yitzchak, again, Rabbi Yitzchak, ein abracha mitzuya ella bedover has someone in ein. Abracha when he found something which is not openly visible. It says Yitzav Hashem itcha es abracha ba'asamecha, something which is something in ein, hidden, concealed from your eye. And according to many, the shame the reason because of ayin hara. Ayin hara, that if somebody else sees you, it's an ayin hara. In fact, there's a very interesting discussion about can you give yourself an ayin hara as well? As we'll see in a minute. That we had in Psachim that for your Gimel, but the Gemara has a few times. The Gemara says we even had before why you shouldn't take somebody else's object and put it out there and show it off because of ayin hara. People, you can cause it damage. Because when people are jealous and everything else, they call in the Eibishter to reevaluate the situation. Why does that person deserve more than you? Something God doesn't see. Now it says it's Hashem Itchas Habracha Ba'asamecha. They give a bracha Ba'asamecha in your warehouse. Machlekes and the Mepharshim, are they arguing or they're saying the same? Sound like saying the same thing. The only thing is one says Somen Ayin, one says Ein Ayin Shaletzes Boy. Others say Ein Ayin Shaletzes Boy means even your own eye. Because if you're talking about, what do you call it? The Davar has some in eye, maybe means a fremde, and he's saying that even your own eye, you shouldn't see how much you have. So I learned how is good on. There's somebody that goes out there to assess his to measure how much he has in his granary in his silo. He makes a brach. I should have a bracha. He's chilam and he goes to measure. What happened to Abish's name? Once you start measuring, you no longer say Abish's name. Modad, you finished measuring. What's the point now? You already finished. You already gave it. You quantified. That's weighed, money counted. Something that's hidden. It says, even the first time, but even before you assessed it, what's the bracha? Whatever you have, you have. Vice money here that as long as you didn't assess it, even though this is the silo, and yet it's shy to have a bracha. The Ramban says, Big Machlekes is showing me this bracha, Hashem Elokeinu. He's saying the Abish's name. According to the Ramban, we're talking about you're measuring for the mitzvah of Truma Maisis. And because and the Kesef the Ram brings that, because you're measuring for Truma Maisis, therefore you're entitled to make a bracha. But you can only do that before you start measuring. Once you start measuring already, you don't make a bracha anymore. That's something else. That's when you did the Truma. Here you're starting to measure to find how much Truma you have to give. Other Hashem, no. It's a bracha that you're giving a bracha to the Eibishter that he should for whatever, for increasing your amount, which is
You can only make the bracha before you know, when you don't know.
Yeah, but even so, think about it. And not that I saw anybody talk about it. Once it's quantifiable, even though I didn't quantify it, what's the bracha? So it's an amazing thing that we have such a munah that even though no one say that. You say even quality, whatever it is, it is. That means that we have such a munah that even though it is here already, the problem is only when I count it already. So I cannot see Dave's not going to make a nest that's begolden. I'm going to see the nest unfold before my eyes. When it's there, the problem, the chsaron here is me, not the inyan. The inyan can transform itself, even though it's already in the gvul and everything else. It can increase. But if I know already that there has to be a nest here, that kind of nest doesn't happen. That's what it sounds like. Even though I haven't seen any before, I should say that. But otherwise, it's very difficult to understand. Before you measure, make mul bracha. It's not true l'shav. It's not because you think about it. We said in our brachas in the last pedic that to daven that the child in your mother's and your wife's womb should be a boy or a girl. It's fafal tul shavri. When she's pregnant, it's tul shavri. I lay or whatever it is. Why is tul shav? Same like over here. Kolman, you didn't measure it. You don't know what it is. No, as we say, because it is what it is. It's too late already. Then here we say it's not what it is. You can always change. You always change.
The person knows how much his silo is. This is 100,000 cubic.
You don't know exactly. You don't know exact. Okay. So you have to measure it too.
It's not more than this.
That's right. Okay, exactly. He's going. No, it says it. No, it says hahoilech. He didn't enter the silo yet. He's standing outside. He's taking a walk from his house to the silo. Interesting. Hahoilech lama. It doesn't say he's chalama. In the next one, it says it's he rotzen. Yeah, that Abisha should still make it increase. Then the Achrim we talk about, you make a bracha on Borim Shalnes and all that.
I haven't checked the numbers yet.
Oh, that's what it sounds like. Yeah. Could you make a bracha after the latter number was already chosen, but you didn't see the numbers yet? Yeah, exactly. Maybe. Maybe, yeah. Interesting. How much more? Money, the only place where you can hide money properly is buried in the ground. So the thesis here is Mesupik, Big Machlek is a Shainim. A Shaimer Sacher was Chai for Gneva Aveda, and he buried the money. Is that considered an Einus if it got stolen from there? You just said the best Shemir is in the carcass. The thesis here says that a Shaimer Sacher, the Gemara always says that it's impossible for a Shaimer Sacher ever to come to Cape. We even had yesterday, Gemara, unless it was listed Mizuyan. What do you mean, unless it's Mizuyan? Say he buried it in the ground and then it was stolen. It's an Einus. And if he would have lied and said, stone, I buried in the ground and a stone turned to be he was the god. He pays kafel. Zerayis says from here that no, the only case where he would exempt himself is if it's a list in Mizuyin. So they came with guns and weapons. That's what Tesa seems to be saying. And then he's no slipping back and forth. Other than Shem Taka hold that so there's a tzas is an interesting thing. So if I remember correctly, said like this. We had a taste before Babakama that Geneva is almost like an oinus. It's not really your fault. It was a rob. And Aveda is sort of negligent. So by Aveda, because it's sort of negligent, if it was an Aveda but oinus, you'd be potter. By Geneva, every Geneva is almost like an oinus. So if it was an oinus, you're chayav. That's what will happen more later. No. What's the chiddush of oinus? There's no pshi here. We just said right now, karka is good, but it's not good enough for a Shem Ezacha. Because you're paying money or you're getting paid, you have to do one step above normal. This is normal. You need one step above. That's it. Shem Echina. For Shem Ezacha, you have to do one notch more. Okay. Better Shabbos, much. Let's say Friday after you got right before Shabbos, like the Chud Rabbanan. We want Matzlich, you go dig a hole and bury it so you can. And if it's stolen for Shabbos, you're pot. We waited Motzei Shabbos, Shil Mekurino, Kurino. If Motzei Shabbos, you had enough time to go ahead and store it, and you didn't. Then if it got stolen, the chayiv. Your rabbi, so if the Batkin was a rabbi, saw what he thinks. Maybe he doesn't want to make Havdol on beer. He wants it on wine, and he needs the money to buy wine. So therefore, you can wait a little bit longer. And you're not responsible. Because you had a right to wait. But today that we have Gishushoy, people that walk around and they have these metal detectors. So what's the point of hiding it? And remember, it's silver. It's a England Shmir El Bishmei Kodim. You got to put it into your seating. Yeah, you see people fossicking by the water over here, walking around with these metal detectors. Exactly, or a ring is lost. Let me get. But today that you have prumoi, Rashi says is people who break through ceilings. What exactly does that mean? Prumoi, we had in Shabbos that if somebody breaks a vegetable, I'm not telling you, people breaks a vegetable into small pieces. I think I saw someone say prumoi means they wear a mask. They go into your house, they break into your house, and wear a mask. England Shmida Elebain Urba. The only place then is the It's inside the wall itself between the rows of bricks. There's what? In a wall you could do that. Then he says here, what do you call it? Today you have people who check the walls to see whether there's a hole there in the wall or something. English Shmir, then the only Shmir is in the wall, one tefach near the ground, because that low they don't go. Or in the wall, tefach near the ceiling. No, not in the ground, in the wall. But the tefach down is too low for people to stoop down so low to go and check the wall, see if it's hollow. That bottom one was because the sand in the bottom. So it doesn't vibrate or whatever it does. You don't feel that hollow sound. Okay, sounds like you know exactly about tapping walls. Then we learned chametz enough on the pale. If you have chametz and let's say a wall collapsed on it, as if it's destroyed, you don't have to do anything anymore because it's non-existent. Even though Rashi Pesachim says you have to mevatel chametz still, and that's a whole discussion another time. Now Shimon Gamliel says kol she'ein hakelb yochaber, the dog cannot sense it. V'tana kapri kelb, how much can a dog sense? Gimel tvachim. So how deep do you have to bury in the ground? Like, do you need 3 tvachim today or not? That deep. Amalei hasa mishum reicha there because the scent is being in a tvachim. You need 3 tvachim deep. Hacha mishum ichsui me'ena being in tvachim. Only that deep. It's covered from the eye. This is before the Gishushoy came in and started using these metal detectors. The camera, how deep? Amarafa mesicha tefach, 1 tefach. Who got with the person after the Gabachaber? He won't get to mind his friend money. He put it in a small round little hut, and it's made for a trapper's. It's a trapper's hut, and nobody would suspect that you would keep the money there. So it's a pretty safe place. Even was stolen. Even though for Geneva, it's considered a good place to hide because it doesn't mean only in the ground. People don't go there. Don't go searching. So the fire, it's a pshia. Have it chilose, but pshia, Now, remember when we talked about Trace of the Shayman before, that even if you hold Chilosib Shi, you start out being negligent, even though what happened at the end was an accident, you're Chayiv, the one that Peter is Chayiv, there has to be some correlation between the two. Like we said before, Malach HaMavos, Mali Hachma, even though the guy stole it, it had been in my house, it had been the same thing. Left the door open, so you can't come to me with kindness. So we're saying this.
For fire, but fire didn't happen.
That's exactly what you shouldn't have put it there because it's not safe for fire. But so Tchilosib B'Pshir. But if it's silver, what happens to the fire? What happens to silver coins in the fire? Is it hot enough to go ahead and melt it? Is it what's going to get ruined? So the word here is, had the money, if you would not have done the pshir, if you would not have put it into this place over here, which is pshir for fire, then you were left at home, and the Ganav never would have got to it. So the Geneva is related to the pshir. Because the pshir was you put it in that place. That was the pshir. And the einus was it was stolen from that place. So there's a correlation, there's a link between the pshir and the einus. But for example, if it died a natural death, there's absolutely no link between the calamity that happened at the end to what you started at the beginning. It had been your house, exact same thing. Here, you can't say that. Had it been in my house, wouldn't have come there. Or we don't know, but it's not what happened. So there's a link. So that's one opinion. You could have another version. I've got the pshir. So even though Gabi fire is a pshir, but it's good enough for like you said with chilos. The pshir is a pot. Here the Gemara concludes chilos is chayiv. Who guy was a person? The Afghans are going to learn a number of stories of people how we deal with it. Person, the Afghans, he deposited money by his friend. I'm going to give him my money back. I don't know where I put it. That's a pshir. Zil shalim. Go pay. Now we had a machlek in the shayim. We actually had a regular and other shayim. If forgetting is considered an einus or pshir, if you forgot something. The big machlek is if you saw you have 4 hours more time to daven mincha, so right, and then came time to daven mincha, you forgot that you didn't daven. Can you make up because of pshia? You cannot make up the ma'ariv. So the machlek is if forgetting is considered an einus, so you can make up the ma'ariv, or not considered an einus. And but over here by a shamer right now, every minute of the time I'm a shamer. I'm ashamed. I'm not ashamed when I took it from you. I'm ashamed every minute of the day. I have to know where it is. So this is not a question of forget. It's a question of negligence because a shamer should know. No, so no eye from here, no bearing on whether forgetting is considered an einus or a pesheya. I will have a person a person who mafked money by his friend. The guy, his friend gave it to his mother. She put it in a little safety box. The ink was stolen. What do you do in this case? Name they should go to him. Look, where's the money? You owe it. He'll say, "Kol hamatka das ishibad mafka." I don't care if you hold shayim the chaya pata. You know that I'm not home all the time. I gave it to my mother, so I did nothing wrong. Okay. Name may go to the mother. You should have buried in the ground. She says, "Well, you knew. I didn't know it wasn't his money. I didn't know it was somebody else's money that had to bury in the ground." The akbarinu. Namely, go back to him. Why Taka didn't you inform her that this is someone else's money? He thought that she would mind my money better than us money. Exactly. Every mother takes care of the children. If I would have told her it's mine, I didn't say anything. She assumed it's mine. She'll be more careful. So who's responsible in this case? He swears that the money he gave his mother was taken to the guy's, the deposit, that mafk's money. The mother then swears that money is what she put into this box. Being was stolen, and they are both potter. Who are we in charge? There's no pshir. Nobody did anything wrong. Each one, did the right thing. So Achmanas and the mafkid, he loses that.
And this is
So everything's shemachina. Everything's, yeah. So it's like an einus in a way. Ahu apatruf the asma. There was this person who was an apatruf who was again a shemachina. This is the title. He bought a cow for him, and he didn't bother checking the cow, whatever. He bought a cow on the market. Umasla Baka, he gave it to a shepherd as a professional who takes care of the shayid, of the oxen. Imagine a guy sold a cow that has no teeth and no jaws, nothing. In other words, you got to give it applesauce to eat or something. You can't give it normal food, can't eat. The mace, and no one knew, and he died. So who's responsible? There's three protagonists here. There's the vendor, there is the apatrufus who bought it from the vendor, who's supposed to take care of the yisainim, and then there's the roya who's like a shemasacha, he gets paid, and he's supposed to take care of animals. So who are we going to charge over here? You gave it to a shepherd, and the shepherd's job is to make sure the animals eat and then they graze and everything else. Who's responsible here? Says the Gemara. Rabbi Chama says, what would a good judge do in this case? Namely, go to the say, Zil Shalom, go pay, you're charged, you're supposed to take care of the Yisayimim. I know the back of the massage. I gave it to a professional. He should take care of it. That's what I gave it for. And he's a Shem Masach. I pay him wages. Namely, the back of Zil Shalom, go to the professional and say to the shepherd, you go pay, the animal died under your care. Nobody told me that it has no teeth. What do I do with all the animals? I send them all out to the mountains to graze. I know about I put them among the other animals. I threw food at them. You think I watch every animal they eat? I assume all animals eat. Nobody told me that there's no teeth. Let's just see for a second. Bak is a Shem Masach. The Apatrufis is merely a Shem Mechinam. But the Bakra, the shepherd, is a Shem Masacher on behalf of the Yisayimim. Means that Patrufus is just representing the Yisayimim. So this guy is a shepherd for the Yisayimim. That means his job is that was his job. He should have inspected the animal, make sure everything's all right. So why is he responsible? The Shem Masacher, the animal died under his care. He's responsible. So there's negligence here. Well, at least it's not negligence, but it's a step above. But he has to watch more than just negligence. Says the Gemara, no. He could say to the answer, the same would have lost the money, Taka, he would be responsible. You know what we're talking about? The Lekab say the Asma, the same didn't lose anything. We didn't lose anything. They bought a cow and it died. They found the vendor. And he said, hey, the whole thing's a mekar. You saw me a cow that can't eat, and you didn't tell me it doesn't no teeth or anything else. So give it back to me. Give him back my money. Well, in that case, so who's claiming from the shepherd? The Yisraelim got their money back from the vendor. So what's this whole case then? Who's taking who to court? Who's the plaintiff here? The plaintiff is the original vendor. I had to reimburse the Yisraelim, as the Yisraelim explained. So now the Yisraelim are out of the picture. So it's between me and you. He has a right, because just like we had before, the machlek zabyeisi, the Tanakama, the mash. If a guy gives a seicher and then the seicher lends it to somebody and then it died be'onis, so there's a shoyl. The third person paid to the seicher, then they go back to the first guy. And Rabbi says it's not fair. Allah, he's making money out of someone else's cow, so he goes back to the first guy. So we see when the middle guy is out of the equation, the first guy, even though he had nothing to do with the shoyl, steps in and he now relates directly. Same thing here. Now that the same are out of the picture because they got their money, it's between the. Because the Ray says, I don't work for you. I don't do with you.
So you're not the troopers, though. Not the troopers they hire because he's a successful businessman and they look after the interests of the kids.
Yep.
There's a muzzle he goes and buys a cow with no teeth.
So the Gemara, it has to, See, when you buy what's the case? The Meicher should have informed the Apatrufis, look, this cow is a little bit different, got no teeth. Feed it differently. So the vendor is at fault. What's his taina? My Medile made the other. So the said, they should have told him, my Medile. What did you tell him? Made the other, you knew. The Mekachtos have because the whole thing is a Mekachtos. And what a bit safsida. You know what we're talking about here? This vendor was Mia Mekler, was a middleman. He never saw the cow. He buys it from one guy, makes a shidduch with another guy, and the cow went from A to this guy. Therefore, the vendor swear the law have the other. He swears that he had no idea that the cow didn't have teeth. So if you can't blame me, can't say to I have mekatos, I sold what I sold. And I guess they can't find the original person, whoever sold it. So now the shepherd, what does the shepherd end up paying? He ends up paying the May Basa Bazo. What's May Basa Bazo? Because it's not a full, the Roy Andon is not fully responsible because he put it amongst his cows. So it's not like he did the wrong thing. So he pays the May Basa Bazo is he give the hide back to the original owner, and he paid 2/3 of this rule. Whenever it says the May Basa Bazo, he pays 2/3. So in this case, the Roy is not fully responsible. The Bakra is not responsible because he's just merely whatever you call it. He makes the shidduch between the original owner and this guy here. So therefore, that's what the Roy has to pay. At the end of the day, it was the Roy's duty of care, and he should have been careful. So he has to pay, but how much we discounted for that very reason because he's not totally responsible. Says the Gemara. And Taysom makes a cheshbon because if they would have known that it has no teeth, they probably would have shechted it straight away and wouldn't have waited for the market day. When do you get the best price for the animals? On the market day. So, and before the market day, if you have to sell something, you're sort of a desperate seller. Because most people, if you're a proper vendor, you would wait till the market. If you sell before, it means you're a desperate vendor. Desperate vendor always discounts. Discount is 33%. You got to teach the stores over here what a sale means. A sale is a 33% discount, third off.
You know, went past all those Persian rug stores. Always having a minimum 70% off, minimum 80% off. No one ever bought a Persian rug for more than 20% of the cost.
Okay. Who got the person after Kashus, the person who stored his to make beer. Gabe by his friend. He had his own keddy, he had his own hops. He had his own hops over there for the beer, and this guy had hops. So what happened? Reuben gave Shimon his own hops to store, and Shimon happened to have his own. Then he told the servant or the person who runs his house, said, "Look, we got to make some beer. Mahai Rami, go to the corner, go to this room there, and take from those hops over there to make beer." Also, the guy didn't know that it was. He saw two piles. He wasn't very particular, and he took from the other guy. He took from the pekadon. What do you do now? Name a day, Zil tell the nifkit, go pay. I'm a shemichinam. I did nothing wrong. I told my person who's watching the thing, go take from my corner, which is mine. Name the Sarah says this one, go to the servant of whoever the person was in charge and say, hey, you took the other guys. To me, never told me not to take another one. Maybe he just indicating to me where it was. I walked in the room, I saw the other one, and whatever, I went here. The Eidah Shah, she was like this. Eidah Shah, if the guy, the owner's hops was much closer in, and the other guys, the other person was like a room on the other side of the house, takes a few extra minutes to get there and back. So the Eidah Shah Shir, La Suyale, let's say you gave him enough time to go bring your own hops, and you saw it took longer. I mean, you should have realized he's going to the wrong place. He's going to another room. He's going to take the pekadon. So as Zaraya, you know that he's taking the other person's, and you didn't say anything. That means you're complicit here. So then we can go to the nifkid and say, hey, it's your fault because you knew that your sarse is going to the other room to take from the pekadon, and you should have stopped him, but you didn't. So that means you're complicit. But so more answer, but our case is talking about a case. We're talking about here. In this case over here, we're talking about Amra's case. We're talking about where they're both next to each other. You couldn't tell from the time how long it takes. What's the what's the nifkit's problem? Give his own hops. What's chiluk? Hops are hops. Give your own hops back to the market, and you wanted beer. You got your beer. So what's the issue here? Why is there a case in the first place? Okay, you used the wrong person. So now what happened? You owe him hops. Give him your hops, and you're happy because you got your beer. You wanted beer. Why is it a case? Look, you swap over there. You give him your hops, and you have his hops, and you make beer. The beer turned out to be sour. So the nifkid says, I'm potted. That's his. Even though there was no negligence here. Too bad. There's a loss. I want my hops. I want to make new beer. Or the Rashi, I'm a big kisi. The Rashi says that the other guy's hops had thorns in it, and therefore it wasn't a good quality at all. The Mishnah make kisei. Therefore, what does he? So now, what does he owe to the original owner? Just cheap, poor hops that have thorns mixed into it. Okay, we'll stop over there. We'll